Hi, I'm Lisa Wisner, the host of PowerUp Hero. PowerUp Hero is a podcast all about living a powered up life. Because let's face it, living your best life and juggling a busy workload, that can be close to impossible. I found hundreds and hundreds of PowerUp life hacks and systems that will help you automate your life and be time smart. So instead of spending your time, you're using it to actualize your potential. And I'm so excited for you to join me on my podcast, PowerUp Hero, so you can power up your life to live to your fullest potential.
Hello, everybody. I'm Lisa Wisner, the host of the Power Up Hero Show, and this is a show all about you. Yes, you being the hero of your story. So all of y'all beautiful heroes out there, hope you're having an amazing day. I want to introduce you all to my co-host, Megan Isasi. What's going on, Megan?
Hey, Lisa. I am living my best life, being my authentic self on a Saturday. I'm so excited because I don't know about you, but I was talking to my fellow Toastmasters on Wednesday or Thursday, and they asked me, what kinds of things do I do to relax on the weekend? And I said, the first thing I do is I try to jam pack my week with everything that I possibly need to do so that on the weekend, I don't have to do anything and worry about anything. So the one thing that I do get to do on the weekend is be here with you guys. So I take care of everything during the week so that I can focus on you guys, relax, enjoy my Power Up Hero, and then do the things that I want to do. So if you don't have any tips and tricks, this is an easy one. Just get during the week.
Yes, maximize your week so that you have the rest of the weekend to just relax, right? And you feel like you earned it too. So you look all cash with your hat on and you're repping CC Hooks. I love it. Go Corpus Christi, Third Coast. We're super excited to have you on the show, Megan. As always, you are just a joy. Now, we do have some fans. What's going on, Valerie? Hello. How's it going? Welcome, Megan. Today, and Valerie, I'm talking to you too. So Valerie goes, good to see you, ladies. Good to see you too, Valerie. We got a square for you somewhere. Where's the square? If you want to come on, just let us know. We'll have you on the show. Yes. So Megan, today we are actually shedding a spotlight on an important person in our community who not only has a global perspective, but also has lots of tips and tricks about how to empower our lives. But I also wanted to take a moment to recognize that today is September 11th. And we know that September 11th is recognized as the day when a lot of people lost their lives during the heartbreaking events that happened. You know, Megan, it's 20 years ago that this happened. So I just wanted to take a moment to sort of, I would say, I don't know if I'd be as bold as to say to rekindle that feeling of, like, I felt like there was a spirit of unity, a spirit of compassion and service that really came out of 9/11. And so I kind of want to think about spreading that feeling of, you know, the way the whole country came together to truly inspire others to see each other in a unified way. So, I know 9/11 really affected me, but I just want to take a moment, Megan, and let us just recognize the fact that today is September 11th. Now, as you are breathing in air right now, heroes, I want you to just think about what this day could possibly represent for you. And as I was thinking this morning, Megan, you were talking about being at Toastmasters. First of all, I need to talk to you about that. How are you at Toastmasters without me? How are you able to be at Toastmasters? So we'll talk about that. And then and then one of the other things I wanted to share with you is I was thinking about this morning, you know, how could we inspire hope today? And I was just thinking, let's inspire everyone to truly be a hero. And maybe today, think about performing an act of service or kindness in tribute to those who were killed and injured on 9/11. Whether we're talking about our first responders, our recovery workers, you know, members of our military community, pretty much are, you know, humans who worked in and around the events of 9/11 that were really truly impacted, think about how you today can do an act of service. So that's what came to me. So the universe has delivered to you what was delivered to me.
Yeah, I think I want to just comment on what you said earlier about instead of thinking about the negative that came out of it. I know that a lot of people lost their loved ones, and there's hopefully peace in that for them by now, because nobody should, struggle that long, and hopefully there's some peace there. But also, I love thinking about how united everybody came together. It was so beautiful. And I was so young at the time. I remember being in school when everything happened. And to see that as a child, to see that unity as a child, to see all kinds of people from all over the world, not just where I lived. You have to imagine, I was a kid. So everything to me was just my sphere, right? My circle, my family, and that's it. So when I saw all these people from all over the world coming together, I saw that my school was trying to do things. As a kid, I was like, what can I do? How can I show my pride? How can I show that I'm understanding what's happening and I want to be a part of it? And so luckily for me, there was people in my life that showed me the things that I could do to get involved and the things that I could do to show my pride and where I stood. And I think those are our heroes, not only our first responders, not only our policemen, but the people who were there for us to show us how we could show up in the world, to show other people that we cared for them and we were here for them and we were ready for them. Those are our heroes too.
They are. Well, very well said, Megan. It's like you planned that. It's very good. I was like, wow, Megan, you should write that somewhere. I really love how you really just brought it home to the fact that as individuals, right? As individuals, we have to, I guess, see the hero within and have that hero really continue to see how we are better together and we're better unified. And so here we go, Valerie with awesome reflection. We love it, Valerie. And then also look toward the hope that was born on that day. Yes. And so today we are shedding a spotlight on somebody else who is actually creating hope in others, right? We think about empowering people. So Megan, I want to introduce you and the world to Janna Macik. So I am going to be reading Janna's bio. And for those of you who know this show well, if you have questions for Janna, put them in the chat. If you have shout outs, if you have anything you want to share with Janna, please put it in the comments. We definitely want you to be a part of this show, and we want you to get the most out of this show. So we're elevating a spotlight on Janna Macik. So Janna has spent years, many, many years growing her career in global business, HR, talent mobility in the corporate world. Janna Macik has pivoted into consulting now, and she is the proud founder and chief, get this, Megan, empowerment officer of Advancing Globally LLC. So she's the CEO. I'm noticing that a lot of people are using CEO in a whole other way. I've heard chief energy officer, and now today we are celebrating a chief empowerment officer. And I can go on and on about this amazing individual. Janna proudly holds multiple credentials in regards to her work, one of them being certified relocation professional. She's also passionate about helping professionals get to the next level through personal development, empowerment, leadership, and growth. I found out about Janna from LinkedIn because she is the host of a weekly broadcast called Powering Unique You. Sounds a little bit like Power Up, right? So I was instantly connected to this amazing individual. And so we're going to be discussing today about how you can be your unique self, how you can use the techniques and tips and tricks that Janna shares with us to impact your life and your career. So without any further ado, I welcome Janna Macik, our career strategist, leadership developer, empowerment strategist, and today our Power Up hero of empowerment. Welcome, Janna.
Woohoo! Wow, ladies, after such introduction, I'm really humbled, and I want to say thank you for starting the show with remembrance and the beautifully said words. And when you were sharing this images, I was almost tearing up. I want to share something. When I heard about that, I was on the other side of the world. I lived in Uzbekistan, and I was a teenager at that time. And I remember my mom called me. We had these telephones that were hooked to the walls, right? And she said, the World War III began. Go turn on TV and watch. And I was in tears. I think the whole world was crumbled. And I want just to share that perspective that no matter where people lived, I think everybody was shuddered about what happened this day 20 years ago. So we definitely want to remember everyone and come in unity. I think we do need unity more than ever before. So thank you for remembering this. And thank you for a sweet introduction.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And it's bittersweet, right? So I think on from some perspective, we're so excited to have you here. And I think no better person to have on the show than you today, where we're remembering a special day that impacted us globally. So to get us started, we're just going to ask you to tell us what you do for a living. What do you do in service to the world? I know we kind of gave a little bit of an introduction, but I want to know about this Chief Empowerment Officer. What do you do for a living?
All right. So what it all came about is I was all these years in my corporate career. I was working so hard, growing up, developing myself, and, looking for what's the next big step for me. When we had this COVID situation hit and the problems happened all last year, that corporate door has closed for me for the better. And going toward that, I knew that you have to become a CEO of your own life and your career to get to where you want to be. And with that vision in mind, you have to become, empowering yourself first before you can make a difference in the world and help others thrive. And that's how the, Chief Empowerment Officer began. I decided to establish my own consulting company, and I've been helping individuals discover their potential, help them develop, and then helping companies to find global talent. It's so many different areas and capacities that I'm really fortunate to work with amazing individuals and companies to help them on a global scale.
I love that. Oh, it just sounds like, I guess, the journey of what do I want to do with my life? And then definitely stepping into it, right? Stepping into I keep saying the universe, like the universe is a person. Yes. The universe told you to do this and you're doing it.
That's so true.
So, this is amazing. And so can I just mention that when I was researching you, the very first time I met one of your videos like they were a person, but you were so engaging. I love how you start your videos in the beginning. So for those of y'all who are going to be Googling later, you're going to have a really great time talking about how Janna has such a great way of recognizing not only the gratitude we should have for the technology we're using, but also the spaces that we fill, right? So whether physically, emotionally, spiritually, I really love how you give, recognition for that. And you project some sort of an energy. So tell us a little bit about your upbringing. You talked about 9/11, not being here in the United States. Tell us about where you grew up. Tell us about your family. Tell us about how you became the person you are who wants to advance globally.
Yes, absolutely. My ancestry is half Russian, half Ukrainian. I was born in Uzbekistan near the capital Tashkent, and I grew up there in my early 20s, and I moved to Moscow, Russia. I lived there for a year, and then I moved to the United States. It's 15 years ago now, and I've been here in Jacksonville, Florida. And interestingly enough, my career from the very start, after I graduated and took to college, it was really about global impact. I worked with South Koreans, then I worked with Belgians, then I worked with a lot of European companies, then helped a good friend of mine establish her own company, and then when I moved here, I joined the company that helped relocate families all over the world, and that was like an opening to see that no matter where you are, we are humans and we probably have most of the same needs. And then by connecting with others globally, we can make a big impact. And, moving forward to where I'm right now, I can see that what you offer to yourself first is what you can offer to others. So it starts from you. It starts from you feeling empowered. It starts from you loving yourself. It starts from you seeing how amazing you are. So then by embracing who you are, you can then make a big difference around yourself and in fact, globally.
I love it. And I'll be remiss if I didn't bring Valerie on. Valerie says you're living in her hometown.
Valerie, hi. So good to meet a neighbor.
Yes, how fantastic is that? And, one of the things that we love about Valerie is she does not hold back in the chat. So, wow, this shows me how small the world really is. It really is.
It is.
There's just so many ways that you meet somebody, and there's always a reason to connect, right? Whether you agree or you disagree on issues, right? Societal issues, there's always a reason to connect. So the world really is small when you think of it that way.
That's so true. And technology shows us that even right now, we are in the different places and yet we're talking and then we're connecting with each other. So it gives us this opportunity.
I love it.
Honestly, I was thinking about what you just said, Janna, about how a lot of your work revolves around kind of like self-love and acceptance and empowering yourself. And I could not help but think about the session, Lisa, that we had on Friday, Google's I Am Remarkable. And sometimes that's the hardest thing to do. I can understand why your job exists, because self-love sometimes is not easy. Self-promotion, promoting yourself and talking about your accomplishments and all the ways that you're amazing, it's not the easiest thing to do sometimes, I think, especially for women. So I am forever grateful that there is such a thing as a chief empowerment officer.
And I want to encourage each one of you, ladies, and those that are listening, ladies and gentlemen, become your own chief empowerment officer. That you could do that. And then you can start looking at your life, who you are, who you want to become, and projecting it in all spheres of your life. I feel so much we focus on our careers, and careers are great, and our jobs are great, yet it's just a small fraction of it. So we need to be very strategic about how we approach our lives.
So I have a surprise, Janna. We actually have another person who is going to be joining us in just a few seconds, everyone. And this is Valerie White, who we were seeing in the chat, has actually taken up on that invitation. Thank you so much, Megan, for inviting Valerie. And Valerie, for us, is actually a hero. So we've actually interviewed Valerie as our PowerUp hero of teaching. And Valerie, for me, when I hear Valerie White, all I think about is people development. You want to develop as a human? You got Valerie. Welcome, Valerie.
Hi, Valerie.
Hello. Can you all hear me okay?
Yes.
There may be a slight echo because I'm so thankful to God. And that's why I put in the chat that with 9/11, we have to reflect and think about the hope that was birthed from it, that each and every one of us was given opportunity to continue to do great work and to transform lives. And this echo, I moved into a new home this past weekend and I'm waiting on furniture and everything, but I got the notification. I was like, let me tune in and see how small the world is. Here is Miss Janna Macik living in my hometown. I'm in Texas now, but I'm born and raised in Jacksonville, Florida. Love it there. The beaches, all of my family and friends are there. And here you are. This is just awesome. The world is truly small and we can make a difference. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. We're so happy you're here. Oh, we miss you. I almost want to hug you because, we haven't seen each other in like forever.
We will have to make that happen. And so teaching and learning is my passion. It's what I do for my own business. I say on a global scale, I've been able to do that, but really it was just on 2 continents between Europe and the US. But it's to help others to make those connections with learning and development so that they can be the best version of themselves. We have to sometimes give back to help others reach that level. And so that's what I'm all about. It's just wonderful. And these 2 ladies are the absolute best. I met them quite by accident. And it has just been brilliant since then, kind of like this. So you know what is in the stars for us when we meet with people. So thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so Janna, we are celebrating you as the PowerUp hero of empowerment. So we already talked about empowerment. We're feeling it. But I want you to just tell us, in terms of empowerment, what superpowers are you pulling to be able to be this power up hero of empowerment?
I would point out to one, and it is important one for each one of us to develop, and it's available. It's simple, noticing. Noticing greatness in yourself, noticing that you can make changes toward what you want to achieve. And more importantly, noticing beautiful things and unique things in others. Noticing that people can sometimes possess these diamonds within them that they cannot see. For whatever reasons, they just don't see that they are a diamond. They are a beautiful, amazing, shining person. And helping them discover that is something that really, really, I guess, excites me. And it's very much, so much I can connect with Valerie. What she mentioned is specifically even in children, in our own children, in children that we meet. But guess what? Adults are grown-up children. And we need to help, we need to see the beauty in ourselves, and we need to help others discover that, they're amazing and they can achieve so much more than where they are right now.
I love that. Oh, so that's different, right, than what I was actually expecting. So we're talking about you have a power of, I'm thinking, like, does Superman see through walls? I don't know who sees through walls, but you see through people. Is that what you're saying? Like, you notice where people's superpowers are, right? And you're able to sort of like bring it out of them. You chisel it out of them.
I would say so. It's mixed maybe with intuition. It's mixed a little bit with observation, but that's what really I enjoy doing. And it takes some practice, but the results can be amazing.
I love it. I love it so much.
May I say something?
Yes, of course.
That is an awesome superpower, noticing, being observant, noticing people. Sometimes that's, I used to do a lot of bank training, and they would always say, make eye contact, noticing people. And it requires us to pause and to kind of shut down the mind talk. I absolutely love that, because that is how we make true and real connections. A lot of times people are walking through the world wanting to be noticed. That might be the one thing that helps them to break through some difficulties. It's just knowing that someone else is present with them. I love that. That is powerful.
Yeah, I think honestly it reminds me, and I don't know where I heard this. It might have been the radio, it might have been church, but somebody once told me, if you want to get to people, you got to get over yourself. So if you really want to be a true connector, then you got to put yourself sometimes backseat, get over yourself, get over your ego, get over that selfishness sometimes. If you want to be a true connector and add value every single day and make people feel amazing, like Janna was just saying, then sometimes, you got to get over yourself to get to those people. And I really admire that quality in you, Janna.
That is awesome too.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Something about diamonds. Did I hear you say diamonds?
Yes.
The diamond in people, it reminded me of when I was working with a global organization training young talent who were recent grads. And the CEO of their organization, his name had diamond in it. I don't know if we can say all of that on the show, but I'll just leave it there. And so what I would tell them, because we had a contest at the end of a 5-week training, and I said, you're diamonds in the making. You are the next CEOs of this organization. And we won on 2 continents. We even beat all the veterans. But you have to plant something on the inside of people to let them know, and diamonds are born out of, it takes pressure to make a diamond. And so when I kept saying that, you're a diamond in the making, you're the next CEO. And it so aligns with just the way that you've transformed CEO and talking about diamonds and noticing people. It is brilliant, Janna. Thank you for sharing that. I tuned in on the very right day today.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you say, you're thinking just like me right now, Valerie, because I was literally just thinking to myself, Janna, you have the perfect plan here, right? You're the CEO, which usually everybody recognizes as Chief Executive Officer. You're the Chief Empowerment Officer. You are an empowering individual. You're constantly sharing your knowledge with everyone just freely. But most importantly, I actually love the name of your business, which is Advancing Globally. So I want to know, I recognize the map you have behind you. So you obviously have a globally minded mind frame, right? So, one of the things I always like to know is from somebody who has a global perspective to whether it's work or career or life. Forgive me, Janna. I heard your family music in the background. You have children, clearly, right? So I love it. I love it so much. So
I have children, and actually, the little one of mine is quite unhappy right now. But you know what? I say I took an hour, and Daddy can manage that to however he can. The other two are with grandparents today. So I have 8 children, and please don't fall off. Okay, take a picture of this. Take a picture of this. Every time I have 8. Every time I say that, I love the expression on the faces. I'm like, I have to have a hidden camera. You know that Mark Zuckerberg introduced this glasses that you can click pictures without people noticing. That's for me. So yes, and my oldest is my stepdaughter, and I love her very much. She's a special needs adult right now, and she's with us. And then we have 7 together with my husband. My little one is going to be about 3 months. So it's I'm coming out of summer off with you ladies. And, being a mom is a hard job, yet it really helps you to focus and to learn so many precious life lessons that I don't think you can learn anyhow otherwise. So it's a blessing. And yes, global perspective is because I lived in different places, and I, always my job and my career has been intertwined with making global impact. I could see that, we can make a huge impact without even right now without having to go places. Right now, online, we can make a huge impact globally by coming up, exercising our superpowers, and sharing, like what you said, Lisa, sharing our knowledge and helping others as well.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh. I know, Janna. Oh, gosh, I have so many questions for you. And I think my main question, I want you to kind of like tie it together for me. We're affectionately calling you a PowerUp hero. What does being a hero mean to you? And I want to hear what a hero, what that means to you. But I almost want you to tie in the mom aspect, like how you handle your business and how you handle being a mom of 8 kids. Because I think right now, more than ever, moms are feeling a shift in how they mom because of COVID, because of safety, because of mental wellness and mental health, and having to send their children to school in this environment. And then I heard not even that long ago from a teacher friend of mine, that she went back to teaching to be with her kids during this time. But now she's kind of thinking like maybe that wasn't the right decision, because there's so many teachers calling in that now she has like 30 kids in her classroom. And so there's so much going on with this loaded question, but I want to hear what you have to say about being a hero, not only in business, but in your motherhood.
This is a great question and so important. And I want to say, for years, I struggled. I really struggled because I felt I want to excel in my career. And I've put so much effort and energy in being recognized, being the best I can be, and then bringing somewhat of a leftovers to my family and my kids. And then the things shifted where, I feel I hit a brick, a wall, where I realized I have to. At first, I thought things have to change around me. People have to change around me. My husband has to change. My children have to change. And then when I hit that wall and when my life became crumbled inside and outside, I realized that the change needs to start within me. I cannot change others. I cannot change my husband, no matter how many times I can plead him or be, angry or whatever. My kids are who they are. The people I'm around with, my circumstances, there's so many things that I wish can change magically, but I can't change them. The only power I have and the only person that I can change is myself. Mm-hmm. And it was a huge discovery. It was like an eye-opener to me. It starts within me. And guess what? I cannot be the best mom I can be. I cannot be the best worker I can be. I cannot excel in anything if I'm depleted. It's like your phone. You have to charge your phone constantly to be able to get the best result out of it, the best performance out of it. So what happens with us women, and especially moms, is that we run on 0.1% for the most of the time. And we're charging here a little bit, there a little bit, but we don't charge up enough to be the best we can be, to be the best performance as moms, as spouses, as in our careers, in our occupations, in our hobbies, whatnot. So that was a great discovery. And that's, I think, where it was the seed of the Powering Unique You, is that you have to power yourself. You have to empower yourself. You have to recharge yourself. And you have to start noticing, okay, this shoulders got crumbling, this fist is like, oh, this child agitates me now. Mm-hmm. So when you see those signs that you get frustrated, that you get angry, that things trigger you, it is not that circumstance. It's your response because of your lack of rest, lack of self-love, and not taking care of yourself. So when you flip to that and you say, I have to make a change from within, I have to start recharging myself, and I have to start loving myself. And I also can change my perspective from looking at things negatively and frustrating and complaining. I want to see, what do I want to grow in my life instead? How do I want to grow my family? What do I want to see in my children? It's so easy for us as parents to see negative things that our kids do, but it's so difficult to notice the good things in them. We can have like 10 good things around, and then one thing that they do wrong, we go, like this. So it's flipping that perspective, and it's not easy, but it is possible. That is very important step, I feel, toward that fulfillment and mental health, emotional stability, and spiritual wellness.
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you. I think a lot of people need to hear that right now. I think a lot of people, or moms, I don't know, I'm just kind of focused on this mom thing because I'm in awe. 8 children, okay? That's heroic to me in and of itself.
Yes. I'm just floored. And, can I just say, honestly, I needed to hear that. I think even though at one point or another, you may have read a book and you learned that, but you forget, right? And so today, right now, this exact moment, I needed to hear what you just said, Janna, because I am having a situation where I have a 15-year-old who's going on 21, right? And I'm like, but it's important for me to pay attention to, why is that triggering me, right? And even other circumstances in my life, why am I feeling so frustrated about all these things, right? I need to focus on thinking about myself. So, wow, I needed today more than I thought I would. So, thank you. Thank you so much. My pleasure.
That is awesome. I wanted to interject something, if I may, because both of you have smaller, young children. Mine are all adult. And as you were speaking, Janna, I just wrote things down. Why we have to take notice, because we can't get the years back.
Yes.
And I have been telling young mothers particularly, as difficult or as challenging as it can be as a mom, those years don't come back. And as soon as you blink, they're 15.
Yes.
And you blink again and you're taking them to college. Self-care is important. In my trainings, I've always used just everything that I've gotten from the literature, things like sharpening the saw, which speaks to taking care of you, don't kill the goose or you won't continue to get golden eggs. And so in listening to all of that, it's speaking to that whole person, that we are not one-dimensional beings. We're mothers and have children, but that doesn't devoid us from being the individual. So we have to take care of self in order to be all of that. That's a great role that we're called to as moms, but we are also called to so many things. Everyone on here is a business owner or a developer or an engager in some way, an activist in some way. And so we can't continue to charge a little bit here and there, and we can't get the years back. So what we have to do is preserve ourselves, take care of ourselves, and notice our children, the husbands, and all of those who are important to us, significant others, so that we are caring for everyone in that self-care space, but first and foremost ourselves. This is so rich today. I thank you, Lisa, for this platform and what you've done. I tune in when I can, and usually it never fails that whenever I get a notice and I have the space, it's for me. It's what I need. I so appreciate you. Thank you.
You're welcome, Valerie. It's a pleasure to have you here. And Janna, you have truly blown my mind on the definition of a hero. Megan, your question just kind of created a whole like hybrid of a question here. And so I just have to add that, you know, when we think about a hero, sometimes we think about our first responders, right? We see that firefighter, that police officer, you know, carrying people out of the buildings, you know, climbing and, you know, just rescuing people. But they can't do that if they're not strong enough to do that. So you have to, you know, what did the people say? Put your oxygen mask on first, right? We've heard that so many times on this show. So many of our heroes say that we have to do that. So I thank you so much for sharing that. So just for a brief moment, we're just going to take a short break. We do have a message from Ted about what a hero actually means. And coming from that, we're going to ask you, Janna, what challenges have you faced, right? So as a hero, we know that sometimes you've got to slay a dragon to be able to get to the other side and have a heroic story to tell. So we're going to come back in just a few minutes. We'll see you in a little bit.
What do Harry Potter, Katniss Everdeen, and Frodo all have in common with the heroes of ancient myths? What if I told you they are all variants of the same hero? Do you believe that? Joseph Campbell did. He studied myths from all over the world and published a book called The Hero with a Thousand Faces, retelling dozens of stories and explaining how each represents the monomyth or hero's journey. So, what is the hero's journey? Think of it as a cycle. The journey begins and ends in the hero's ordinary world, but the quest passes through an unfamiliar, special world. Along the way, there are some key events. Think about your favorite book or movie. Does it follow this pattern? Status quo, that's where we start. 1 o'clock, call to adventure. The hero receives a mysterious message, an invitation, a challenge. 2 o'clock, assistance. The hero needs some help, probably from someone older, wiser. 3 o'clock, departure. The hero crosses the threshold from his normal, safe home and enters the special world and adventure. We're not in Kansas anymore. 4 o'clock, trials. Being a hero is hard work. Our hero solves a riddle, slays a monster, escapes from a trap. 5 o'clock, approach. It's time to face the biggest ordeal, the hero's worst fear.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Lisa Wisner, excited to be sharing with you Janna Macik, who is our career strategist, leadership development professional, the founder of Advancing Globally, and our PowerUp hero of empowerment. And so just leading up to this question, we just saw what the hero's journey is all about. And so we're trying to figure out, have you slayed any dragons in your path? We want to ask you a question about some possible challenges or weaknesses of being a hero. So tell us, Janna, what obstacles may you have faced in becoming the hero that we see today?
Ooh, it is self-doubt and negative talk. Those are the two biggest giants. And guess what? they're not outside of you. They live inside of you. And the only way that you can defend those giants that I feel raise upon our minds and emotions at any given time is, for me, what have helped me to overcome is by faith. I'm fortunate enough that I'm born again. I know about my Lord Jesus, and anytime I face these fears, this ugly self-talk, this doubts, this hatred that raises within me, I call on his name and I talk to him, and I ask him to free me from all of this darkness within and bring me into his glorious light. And I can testify he never fails to do that. For some, it may sound superstitious, but hey, it works for me and I use it.
I love it. Oh, you're so perfect, Janna. I mean, come on. What challenges have you faced? The challenges are me. Like, really? Wow. I love that. And, you know, Megan, this presentation this morning, really, you started off by just telling us how you are living your authentic self today, right? So your Saturday is all about Megan Isasi, as Megan Isasi was born to be. And so here we go, talking about how sometimes our authentic selves are in the way, right, of our potential, of our truest selves. I love that so much. I love it.
I wanted to just comment on that, and I'm so thankful to be in a space where someone can openly share and state their faith respectfully without anyone being offended. You know, we live in a world where everything is attacked, and I kept doing this when you were saying it. I was like, yes, we're on the same page again. Such a testament to how important the PowerUp Hero Show is, because you never know who you're going to touch. I'm from Jacksonville, moved to San Antonio in 2008. Never been to Russia. I don't know. I think I may have met one person who's from Russia, but here's someone is living in my home city. That connection, it really minimizes the size of the world. And then not only that, a person who is a fellow believer. And it just reinforces in me that there are more than I think, more people out there who believe and think the same way, who are on a quest to change people's lives and to impact people. I know Megan is, I know Lisa is, and now I'm just gonna count you as friend, living in my home city, and hope to meet one day whenever the world opens up. So thank you for being your authentic self and for sharing who you are. This is it's just so powerful. Today's
Thank you, Valerie.
PowerUp Hero. It's wonderful,
Yeah.
Megan.
Yes.
Lisa, I'm so excited. It's great.
Yeah. I think Lisa and I it was probably yesterday, I feel like it was so long ago, but we were talking about how there's a power in vulnerability and there's power in realness. And when people show themselves true like that, then that makes these places safe and okay to say that I'm a person of faith, or that I believe in this, or that I believe in that. And I think it's important for people to be vocal about the things that they believe in, even if they're not the same as what we believe in, because everybody needs something to believe in. And it's important that we create those spaces where realness is a good thing and vulnerability is a good thing. And I think that you never know who you're going to touch. And Janna, I think there's probably somebody out there who you probably touched just by saying that alone. I know Valerie is touched. I could see her throwing up the hands over there for sure. So I just thank you for teaching us to never shy away from being your true self and who you are, because it's touching other people, and being vulnerable and being real means something today. And it's us that sets the tone for what it means. And so thank you for
and it's a part of slaying. It's a part of slaying, Megan, of that beast, right? It's accepting and you know, not being you know, I'm not dragging anybody or I'm trying to convince anybody, but accepting who you are and knowing that this is important to you and being bold enough to share it without apologizing. You know, it is something that I feel is not easy to do, especially nowadays. Yet it is important because I feel we are placed in this world for a big reason. And, we are placed in this world to be the light. And if we don't, shine, and if we hide ourselves in the darkness, then, we're not truly fulfilling our purpose. So we need to shine as bright as we can, and spread love, spread unity, spread respect, spread connections with others, because light is beautiful. And when you're in the light, it gives you joy and peace. And anybody, I feel, in this world need joy and peace. So thank you so much for allowing me to be on your platform and sharing that as well.
You're very, very welcome. And so again, here we are, Megan, taking up way more time from our guests than their Saturday needs. So we're going to very swiftly move into Fast 5 Favorites, which is my favorite part of the show, by the way. I need some music that just kind of intros this portion of the show. So those of y'all who are watching, if you're watching live, if you're watching the broadcast right now, we want to hear your favorites. So go ahead and let us know. But we will start right off the bat with celebrating Janna Macik, who is our PowerUp hero of empowerment. What is your favorite book? Tell us, what is something that you like to read?
All right. Well, on the note from our last conversation, it is Bible. I'm not going to hide it. It is the most profound book in my life. And this is the one that I've been rereading. And this is the one that not only gives me light, but actually feeds me spiritually. And I feel I don't get it enough. So I need to snack a little bit more here and there throughout the day.
Sounds like it's living water, right? Just like, I just can't wait to drink more. So it's fantastic.
So yes, if you're watching and if you haven't read it for a while, or maybe have not read it at all, just pick it up and give it a try.
Mm-hmm. And the great thing about it is you can just open it and start reading.
And it's available online as well. So it's a great one, I feel, to just ponder. If you don't have to be a believer, but just curious, just read a little bit.
I love it. All right. So next question is, what is your favorite movie, or what do you like to watch?
So I've watched some movies because my kids are watching. But I have not really identified that some favorite movies nowadays. But what I do like to watch right now is a show produced by a wonderful gentleman. His name is Del Bigtree. And the show is called The High Wire. So you can find it online, The High Wire, and watch his show on Thursdays afternoon live. And then once they're live gone, you can rewatch them on the website. I feel that he provides a really relevant information, relevant to where we are right now, and a lot of great research. So I've really been enjoying watching how he presents and the information he presents.
Love it. And I've never heard of it, so that's a good thing. I will check it out for sure. The next question is, what is your favorite song, or what do you like to listen to?
Well, on that track, I like to listen to uplifting songs. A lot of it is probably something that I'm humming toward to praise my Lord. And one of the songs that come to me right now is, I have a joy, 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 joy down in my heart, down in my heart, down in my heart. So you want to have a joy? Just sing it loud.
Yes, affirmations and dance at the same time. I love it. I love it so much. So moving on very swiftly, what is your favorite quote or something you like to say?
Something that I like to say to myself is, let the peace of Christ arbitrate in your hearts. And it is important because you think about peace, peacefulness, calmness, harmony. You think about it as things. But actually, for me, my God, my Lord, Jesus is that. So when you let him arbitrate your hearts, that means you let him see you. You let him, view your heart, how your heart is. Then that peace becomes real. It's not something that you can manufacture. You just let it dwell in you and you let it arbitrate. It's like measure you. And I feel it is recently, for some reason, this has been coming to me often and often in the chaos of where we are outwardly in the world, and so many calamities, fears, uncertainties, so many things that I feel pressing upon us. How are we going to be tomorrow? What's going to happen? What's going to happen to the world? There's so many questions that we do not know, we can't control. Is that it can be your safe harbor, is to let his peace arbitrate in your heart. Just let this peace dwell in you and settle you and bring you harmony and joy.
I love it. And our last question is, if you had the perfect day, so as a PowerUp hero, you had to throw those covers off, how would you meet the day? How would you wake up to PowerUp?
Stretch. Girls, we all need to stretch. Take a silent moment. Be grateful for this day. Be grateful you're alive. I just say, thank you, God, I'm alive. I'm so grateful. And then I love when I'm stretching. And when I notice that I don't stretch and I skip and I dive straight into my day, it really affects how things are going. So it's giving that few moments of gratefulness and then move your body, stretch, kind of do a little bit of physical activities. And then you can dive right into getting everybody ready, feed a lot, get everybody dressed and get going for the day.
All 8 of them, by the way. Yeah. People, in case you didn't know that, she has 8 kids, okay? So with that actually comes a question that we like to ask. We always believe that our PowerUp heroes are maximizers of their time. We believe that if you're a hero, you know that time is your most valuable resource. So do you have any tips or hacks on how you maximize on your time?
Absolutely. Don't keep it in your head. It will go crazy. Write it down. Write down the things that worry you, that you need to get done, that are on the further things that need to be done. Write them down, make a list, and then schedule them in your calendar. A lot of times we schedule important meetings in our calendars, but we fail to schedule, things that still may be triggering or still may need to be done. And then the weeks pass by, the months pass by, and we still keep it in our head saying that, we haven't done today, we haven't done it. So you occupying your important, precious space in your head on things that you really don't have to worry if you schedule them. So I believe that when you write it down, you get it out of your head on a piece of paper, and it's there, you don't have to worry about it all the time, then accommodate it according to your schedule, what the time slots that you need to take care of it. And I would say put a time slot for safe self-care as well. Whether it's massage once a week or once a month, or a pedicure, or whatever it's going to be. For women, especially, for men too, I think men are lacking self-care a lot too nowadays. But for women, put that self-care in your calendar and don't skip it. Use it as the most important time for yourself.
I love it. Oh, that was actually a really awesome Fast 5 Finger Favorites. I literally wrote down so many things that I am about to start doing, because I like to sprinkle a little bit. I get bored really fast, and I bet you all of y'all are maybe like me. And so I like to sprinkle in what I'm hearing from our heroes. And I love everything you're saying. So I can't wait to meet my week like Janna Macik, the PowerUp Hero Empowerment. I will channel you this week. I can't wait.
I love it.
It's going to be awesome. Oh, and I really saw how, if it keeps in your mind, you can go crazy. I like how you said that,
you go crazy. I do.
You go crazy. I love that.
And that's true, Lisa, because, I have we have, especially when we're juggling it as moms, and, whether you're working or have business or whatnot, even if you're just being a mom, it's a job on its own. Whether you have 1 kid, 2 kids, or 6 kids, it doesn't matter. You still have a lot of things that are in your head, so you go crazy. I do not know how about others, but if I don't write it down, and if it's not on my calendar, like I have online calendar, I know sometimes it's easier to do it on the written calendars, but mine seem to be like kids like to write their own things on them. So online, on the phone, you have your calendar, what's going on in the day, and then you have your list, what is pressing, what needs to be done. It like unclogging yourself and allowing your brain and emotion to have more space to tackle what's going to be coming your way. Sometimes a lot of unexpected things are coming your way that if you're clogged so much, You're like, oh, I don't have another energy on this thing that is coming my way, this fire. So you've used all of your energy on everything that you're keeping in your mind instead of facing the unexpected stress or thing or, agitation maybe, then you don't have energy for that. So you want to have that space to allow yourself to meet whatever's coming your way throughout the day, in a calm way, composed way, to be able to respond instead of reacting.
Love it.
Yep.
Oh, and I love you. So happy you're here with us. And so we are literally all out of time. Like, we don't have any more time. So I don't know if Megan, do you have any last question for Janna or Valerie?
Lisa, I always have questions.
I know.
But I also know just by her response how valuable her time is. So,
yes.
As always, we always say part 2. We always need a part 2.
We need a part 2. So let's just go swiftly into how can people get in touch with you, Janna? If they want to be empowered, how can they get in touch with you?
I say LinkedIn is the best platform to connect with me. Send me a connect request, or you can hit the follow button. I'm going back to doing live broadcasts every week. Powering Unique You is my show on Monday at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So tune into that and just send me a DM if you want to connect and have a conversation. If there's anything I can do to support you professionally or personally, I'll be happy to connect and chat with you.
With that, fantastic. And with that, we thank you so much for your time today. We celebrate you and we honor you for all the effort that you've put into becoming the person you are today. And thank you for owning your heroic self and sharing with us your story and how you're really, truly powering up the hero within, and we can see it coming to life. We appreciate you so much, Janna. Thank you so much.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you, ladies. I definitely would love to stay in touch, whether it's going to be double 2 or whatnot. But it's been a pleasure being on your show, get to know each one of you as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Bye. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness, y'all. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Oh.
I came in at the right time. Are we still live?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm going to say bye-bye. I came in at the right time. Thank you again, Lisa. I treasure the show, and when I can catch it, it's always on time for me.
And it's a pleasure to have you. I can't believe you came on, so it's totally impromptu. We owe you for gracing us with your presence. We love you, Valerie.
Thank you.
We love you so much.
Thank you, Valerie.
We'll talk soon. Have a great one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, can you believe it, Megan?
I hope everyone feels the way that I feel when I get off of the show. Like, I'm ready to engage and interact, and I'm talking about having a relaxing Saturday. But when I get off of the show, I'm like, who can I go talk to? Who can I meet? What can I do?
Well, I know you have all the stuff you do with the Exodus Project, which, by the way, every time you say you're having a women empowerment weekend, I'm like, I want to go. So yeah, let me know when you're doing that, because I really kind of feel that vibe from Janna. I feel that vibe of community. I feel like if she was hosting a retreat, I would go, and I would go just whatever you want us to do, Janna, I'm there, right? So, and I love that. And I think every now and then it's important for us to surround ourselves with people who we see projecting the best version of ourselves. And so I love how authentic this show was with Janna there. And I love how, grounded, Janna is in respect to her career as well. The boldness in speaking through how, working really hard in a career, being successful in that, and then pivoting to being a consultant, and then now empowering others through this, personal empowerment journey she's on with her business. I just love that boldness, right? And with 8 kids, I'm like, can I get a hello?
Yeah.
Amazing. Oh, I love it.
100% achieving the heroic impossible, right? That thing that we're like, oh my gosh. Whenever you look at a hero, you think, oh my gosh, how in the world do they do that?
Yeah.
And she is just doing it with a smile on her face, with gratitude in her heart, with the peace of Jesus. I mean,
I know.
All kinds of amazing stuff. And it's people like that you just, how how? And she just told us how. So everybody, you go, you flip it and make it your own.
Yes, you got the playbook right here. I wrote the playbook down. I don't know if y'all were writing notes. I wrote it down. So this is how you become the PowerUp hero of empowerment. First of all, you have to flip the switch and realize it's you. If there's something going on, it's you, right? So I love that. I love that everything is inside of you. Your self-doubt, negative self-talk will really be the thing that brings you down. That is a challenge. That would be a challenge for you. I like how we talked about recharging ourselves, right? And that whole visual of we plug in here and then we get a little bit of a charge here, and maybe we're like, oh, can I just plug in here? And it's like, dude, you need to be showing up at 100% charged when you're in front of people, right? So I think I love that. Preserving ourselves, seeing things as like ourselves first, right? So if we preserve ourselves, we're able to be the full version of ourselves.
Yes, 100%.
Love it. Love it. And then did you like that quote? I was like, I need to Google the word arbitrate. And then it was defined, obviously, by Janna. But I love that, like, let the peace of Christ arbitrate in your heart. So show your authentic self, like the just don't hide, don't hold back, right?
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because we're actually having our Exodus Women's Retreat coming up on Friday, and that was the message. Honestly, that is the message for us to our women, is like, let's come in to this retreat and let's be real with each other. Let's be vulnerable with each other. I think sometimes when we go to wherever you worship and however you worship, you come up and you look good, you got your makeup on, you're dressed up, Sunday best, and you're so worried about what it looks like on the outside that you miss the spiritual happening. You miss the spiritual happening because you're thinking about what you got to do after. You're thinking about your kids going crazy in the midst of it. You're thinking about, fixing your clothes. Am I comfortable? Adjusting, doing all these things. And you just miss what you went for. And so I think that letting that, what she said, arbitrate, and letting however you connect spiritually really resonate with you, and not letting that moment pass you by. Because you're there for a reason. It's not to be fixing your clothes. It's not to be worrying about if your makeup is okay. It's not to be thinking about what the next activity is. You went for a reason and for an intention, and don't let that moment pass you by. So it definitely resonated when she said that. And that word is very powerful. I wrote that word down because
I wrote it twice. I wrote it like cursive, and then I wrote it like in capitals. Like, I gotta like focus on that word. Maybe that's my word for the week. First of all, how are you in Toastmasters on a Wednesday? What is going on here? Like, for those of y'all who don't know, Megan and I work together. So I have the best work life ever, if that can be hashtagged. And so on Wednesdays, I guess, Wednesdays and Thursdays at noon for me is like recurring meetings, right? How did you go to Toastmasters, Megan? Oh my God.
I love going back. Toastmasters has been huge in my life. And I think you can probably say the same in so many different ways. And I can feel it when I'm not there. I feel it in the way that I talk. I feel it in the way that I show up physically. I can feel my skills. I don't even know if I'm saying this right, but I can feel my skills like retreating and shriveling and crippling.
Yes.
And our goal is to be great communicators so that we can get to people.
Yes.
And if we're not practicing and honing that, then maybe our connections aren't going to be as impactful or powerful as we want them to be. So I, like I told you, I try to make space where I can so that I can just, even if it is for 30 minutes, because Toastmasters is an hour, even if it's just a quick pop in and pop out, there are little nuggets that stay with me and little nuggets that impact me. So if you haven't joined, or if you've never visited, we are meeting online and online only on Wednesdays from 12 to 1.
Okay.
There.
Perfect. So I'll try to make space. Some of these recurring meetings, I'll just not, I can't make it today, because once a month at least I gotta go to Toastmasters, right? Yeah. So you and I have been on the Toastmasters journey for so long. We're the distinguished Toastmasters. We've been in leadership positions. And so we can tell you right now that the value of Toastmasters is beyond being able to speak and be an orator. It's about leadership skills. It's about communication. It's about confidence. It's about self-worth. It's about friendship. And so I miss my Toastmasters friends. So I'm glad we brought Toastmasters into this. So I am actually going to just kind of end the show, Megan, because I want to actually tune in. I think right now we have the reading of the names in New York right now that's going on, and so they've been reading the names all morning. So I've actually been listening to that, and I want to go back and tune in because it's been really nice watching and listening as we are coming to an end of our day today. So Megan, thank you so much as always for giving us your precious time. Remember, time is like times who knows how much of our lives we don't get it back. So thank you for spending this time with us, Megan, and thank you for sharing just like you always do, so perfectly and so genuinely in every conversation. Thank you.
See you guys next time. Bye.
Bye. And so with that, I want to thank you all so much for watching the show today. I am most excited because we had a great opportunity to celebrate a person who not only brought their authentic self and shared with us their story of how they're being a hero, but I felt empowered. And so it's just perfect and fitting that we had our PowerUp Hero of Empowerment here, and the PowerUp Hero empowered me to be the best version of myself. So if you want to find out more about the PowerUp Hero that we just interviewed, you can go to our podcast page, and that website is www.poweruphero. And hello, I am wearing the shirt. So poweruphero.org. You can go to our website. And now I wanted to actually share a final thought for today as it relates to 9/11. You know, whenever we were going through the conversations we had with Janna, I was thinking about, when we had the attacks, and even like the many days that were following past of the attacks, there's people who showed up as everyday heroes for us, right? So we're talking about people who helped each other in terms of feeling sad, the sadness, and so comforting each other, providing whether it was information, hope, there was healing that was needed, and there was people there. And so as a global community, right? So as Americans, as a global community, I just want to ask you a question, and whoever comes into your mind, you need to nominate them to be a hero. So who is an everyday hero for you, or who would you consider an everyday hero in our community? I ask you today to nominate them. If they are a role model for you in our community and they deserve to be featured as a hero, please nominate them to be on the show. We want to hear their story, and we definitely want to shed a spotlight on individuals who are living a heroic life. You can visit our website, www.poweruphero.org, to nominate them so that they can be a hero. So with that, life, love, and power, my fellow heroes. I want to share with you that today, even though it is a sad day, I feel empowered. I actually went to Cole Park this morning and walked, and I just breathed in that energy, and I feel totally empowered. So I ask you to also breathe in that powerful energy that surrounds us. And as powerful heroes, I hope that you are educated today. I hope you are inspired, and I hope that you are encouraged to be a PowerUp hero, because our world needs you to be a hero today more than ever before. PowerUp heroes, unleash the hero within and make today a powered up day. We'll see you next time. Bye.